This is my relatively new window AC, which as you can tell has been very professionally made to fit in a window that it's not compatible with. It's some LG thing which has 14,000 BTUs of power. I don't know what that means, I have zero context for it, but it sounds like a lot. From the moment it was mounted to this window, I knew I had to cool a gaming PC with it. So today we're gonna do that. We're gonna put it to good use. And this entire ridiculous experiment is very kindly sponsored by Be Quiet in its entirety. Now my plan is to strap the window AC to one of Be Quiet's new light loop AIOs, hopefully giving us Arctic temperatures on our CPU. Which I'm sure the light loop with its easy to refill port and Lightwing LX fans can manage on its own. Also available in 360mm and white, but I want to give our Ryzen 5900X a little bit of hypothermia by the end of the video. Oh, I forgot to peel the base. I just realized I just wasted like $700 worth of thermal paste there. I don't know, I feel like somebody needs to take old Yeller out behind the shed. Oh, look at that. That's not good. And with my terrible mistake rectified, it was time to figure out how to set up the system. Now, as you can tell, it's not in the best spot for us to hook a PC up to it, and it's huge, massive, and pretty securely installed, so I'm not gonna move it anywhere. So I think the first thing we need to figure out is how to get a PC near enough to it that we can conveniently hook it up to a radiator. I think I've got an idea. I mean, I feel like this hand-cranked IKEA sit-stand desk from 1875 is perfect because we can manually adjust where it is in relation to that, which is important because of the duct material that I decided to go with, purely because it was the only thing that my local dollar store had. But with that, let's go get the PC and get started with the testing. Wait, is that a Be Quiet Dark Power 13 with 80 plus titanium rating? Wow, I heard those increase the owner's sexual desirability by 13%. Hashtag sponsored by Be Quiet. Now in terms of radiator placement, I'm not entirely sure, but I guess I'm just gonna put it like this, and then tube will happen. But before we worry about pleasantries like how exactly we're gonna hook our radiator up to the window AC, I think we need some baseline readings of what kind of temperatures we're getting from this Be Quiet AIO on the 5900X under there in normal circumstances, so we can see how much we benefit from the AC. So now that we have the system up and running, I'm going to run AIDA64 for half an hour because we've got an AIO, so we want to heat soak the entire load of liquid in it. And then we'll use Hardware Info 64 to see how high the temperatures are gonna get. Now for the base run, I'm gonna measure the ambient temperature of the air. But once we hook up the AC, I'm gonna measure the exhaust temperature of our contraption so we get an idea of the air temperature cooling the radiator. Idle, we're sitting at about 34-ish degrees Celsius. Okay, so it's been 33 minutes according to AIDA64, and the temperatures haven't moved. We've got peaks of about 67 degrees Celsius, which I think is pretty impressive for a 240mm AIO on a 140 watt load. So I guess now all that's left to do is we need to figure out how to hook this up to that. Now, of course, there's only one way that I know how to do things like this, and I'm pretty sure that you already know what it is, and it's duct tape and cardboard. Which is, I mean, it's called duct tape. It's in the name. I'm gonna make a duct, so it makes sense. I mean, if anything, here we have a very good example of my duct taping skills just right behind the desk. Now, to make the actual duct bits should be pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna cut up some cardboard in the shapes that I need, duct tape it to the bits that I need it connected to, and then what more is there to it? My kindergarten skill level arts and crafts should be able to manage that. The problem is connecting the two bits of duct, because I went to my local dollar store and unfortunately they didn't have any convenient window AC to AIO ducts lying around. I think it's weird that they don't stock that, but what can you do? But luckily they had this, and by this I don't mean the bit of lawn ornament, I mean the tube that it's stored in. I saw that there was just one bit of lawn ornament left, so I asked the lady if I bought the lawn ornament, could I have the tube, and she agreed. She was a bit confused, but she agreed. So now we have a way to connect our two things. Now I'm a little bit concerned about length because at the moment it looks like it's about twice as long as we need, but I'm not going to cut it yet because yeah, this is a very rough measurement. So I think what we do is we build the ducts first and then we figure out how long this needs to be. Wow, that is perfect. So this bit is exactly the correct length. So again, that looks pretty perfect. The next step was to very professionally measure out the side bits of our funnel so that I could cut those pieces to size and start duct taping together our funnel. It fits almost like I half measured. Oh, and look at that, that's also perfect. So now I just need to make the bits where I connect this on. Okay, that makes sense. But when I went to half measure the tube placement, I noticed a bit of a problem. So I'm gonna have to cut a bit of an angle in here so that it doesn't point up out of the AC, but kind of down out of the AC. Just like that. The angle should sort itself out, right? Because I'm just gonna go from here down to the edge, so then it'll be the same because it's from the same height to the same height. However, my first attempt at careful modification wasn't quite enough. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely better, but we can have more of an angle, to be honest. So I cut in a more aggressive angle and started adding in the last bits of cardboard. So I've got the second bit of fill, which it doesn't quite fill in that gap, but I've had a genius idea. I'm gonna take this bit and we're gonna like weld it over like that, but we're gonna cut out a circle in it so that we have a really clean fit. That's so smart. Cutting the gasket required max concentration of all of my cardboard cutting skills, but the result was very usable. So all that was left to do was to make the funnel for the radiator side, which for someone with my immense skill was very easy, which was especially helped by the AIO being made by Be Quiet, which adds 5 points to my engineering skills. Okay, I think that looks amazing. It's worked out super well. And there's even very little bleed happening around the edges. Like the only air is coming out through this hole. Now, the reason that I've decided to funnel the air through an AIO radiator as opposed to funneling it into a case and just having the window AC cool the entire PC is because I think the air coming from the window AC is very cold and it's going to cause some condensation issues inside the PC case, which is going to be really difficult to control. Whereas this way, it's just going to make the AIO run very cold, and I don't know if it's going to lead us to kind of condensation level temperatures on the CPU. So I don't think I have to worry about any of those issues. Although I'm potentially foreshadowing here and I'm gonna destroy this system. We'll see what happens. But before we get to that, I need to turn the fans around on the radiator so that they don't fight the air coming from the AC, and then we need to hook everything up. Attaching the duct to the window AC required some more complicated duct tape work than with the AIO, but I got there eventually. So what I'm gonna do now is just turn it on and see what happens. Oh yeah, it's just a beam of cold air going out through there. It's worked! That's exciting. Is that all we had to do? It just kind of pops in like that, and I don't know, I feel like I need to tape it to the AIO. And once I secured the Be Quiet AIO, it was time to admire the magnificent creation. And I think it's gonna work really well. I mean, we've got this massive window AC that is now gonna be entirely devoted to cooling that radiator. So I can't imagine this not going amazingly. This can only be spectacular. So with that, let's turn the PC on. Okay, it's spinning up. You can see the majestic Be Quiet Lightwing LX fans. They're pointing in the correct direction now. I'm actually a little bit worried with the system idling turning it on. It may do some bad, very cold stuff. But as it is now, we're getting a higher idle temperature because the AIO is quite restricted in terms of air being pulled through it. But let's see what happens when we turn the AC on. It's on eco mode again for some reason. Oh, the air coming through the radiator has gotten real cold. Okay, we've lost about 10 degrees of idle temperature now, and whoa, the air coming through the radiator is properly cold now. Now again, this is on the lowest power, so we're on one little thing for fan speed. We've got 20 degrees Celsius now in terms of idle. And the moment I turned on IDA 64, the temperatures on the CPU jumped to just under 60 degrees Celsius, which was higher than I was expecting. So I decided to try and insulate the tube to protect more of the cold. We have to insulate it in the most Canadian way possible with a flannel. Wow, this is kind of not working as well as I was expecting. I mean, again, 50 degrees Celsius on a CPU pumping out 140 watts is, I mean, those are good temperatures. It's about 20 degrees cooler than it was without this contraption on it. So even if this is the best we can do, that is pretty impressive. But even after turning the AC up to max with our insulation, the lowest IDA 64 temperature I could get was 50 degrees Celsius. And an interesting quirk was every time the AC detected the room temperature dropping, it would slow down and our CPU temperatures would spike. Either way, with our 50 degrees Celsius result, I wanted to see what happened while gaming. Loading into Cyberpunk, we're sitting at 25C. I may need a faster graphics card so that we get more power draw from our CPU so that it doesn't get condensation issues on it. That's a weird issue to have. Oh no, we're good. The dew point's 10 degrees Celsius. So we have to lose another 10 degrees Celsius before we need to start worrying about condensation. So we're good. But yeah, I need some more GPU power in here. And because of our majestic Be Quiet Dark Power 13 power supply with its PCIe 5.0 support, we can easily drop an RTX 4090 in here. Titanium. This is at 1440p Ultra Ray Tracing. We're getting 21C on the CPU. So this is after I've left the AC off for a while so that the ambient temperature rises so that it's down to just blast the AIO. So this is it really going to town on the radiator. And yeah, while gaming, we've got 21 degrees Celsius, which is a lot more what I was looking for. You know, it was a bit lame that while IDA 64 was running, we were seeing like 40 or 50 degrees Celsius. This is a lot better. Depending on the day, we're like close to dew point. You know, I like that sense of danger around gaming. Yeah, with that, I think that's about the extent to which we can run this experiment. So thank you very much, Be Quiet, for sponsoring this video. I'm sure that if it was a Be Quiet competitor, AIO we were using, the lowest temperature we'd get would have been like 78 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video, and until the next one, bye-bye.